Hi guys, so as you'll have seen for some recent videos, yeah, HeroQuest, well and truly hooked on it, and started buying quite a lot of the quest packs. As you can see, this one's the Frozen Horror, so they come with more quests, which is awesome. A few little battle bits and bobs there, and well, the bits I'm more interested in, the miniatures. The dice aren't bad, although there's a set that has orange dice, or clear orange ones, so I can't wait to get hold of that one. But yeah, miniatures, and another hero, which is always nice to see. And this one's a female barbarian with the sword and shield. And as you would have seen from the thumbnail, that's not the one I'm going to be painting in this video, it's this one. Lovely big chunky Frozen Horror. Yeah, lovely little sculpt on this one. Must admit, this one does have a lot of detail and just looks amazing. And has a nice base that has, well, tiles put on it. Well, I say a nice base. You're going to soon see me get rid of this base because I do prefer all my figures to be on clear bases. Just wanted to say I do get all my miniatures from Chaos Cards. There's a link down below, guys, because you can get a discount when buying miniatures from them. So yeah, it's always worth supporting your local games shop. And yeah, I went down to this one, probably about a year or so ago. Lovely big shop, and the great thing is you can go in there and play games, which is just awesome. So great little setting to be around, lovely friendly staff. Yeah, highly recommend them. So as mentioned, yeah, I want to put this dude on a clear base. So this base has still got its protective wrapper on it, which is why obviously it's kind of like white. But yeah, I want to put him on this, mainly because I like to see the terrain underneath them. So this is the first time I'm having a go at doing this. And yeah, at this point I was a little bit nervous, because I wasn't too sure if it was going to work out too well, or I was going to end up, well, chopping a toe off, or just slicing the whole foot off, really. So using this little cheap Dremel tool I've got, yeah, I carefully just sort of cut away near it, bit by bit. I didn't want to go in too much or too neat, so yeah, I probably did spend a lot longer on this than I probably needed to. But say that's more because I didn't want to chop off too much, because if you do chop off too much, well, you can't really put it back on. So I kept chopping more and more bits off, and then I got to this kind of stage where, well, it looks like he's wearing platform shoes, and this is now where it is a case of trying to be even neater, getting right up close to his feet, but again making sure I don't chop any bits off that I shouldn't be, especially because I want to try and keep obviously all his little toes there and his toenails. So the great thing here is this plastic is relatively soft. I say I've got one of these sort of Dremels, but it's not a real Dremel, it's one of those the cheaper ones. Probably costs about 16 quid on Amazon, so very cheap. But yeah, so this plastic is definitely soft enough that I can cut through it, or circular saw through it reasonably well. So now it's a case of getting nearer and nearer the feet. But as you'll see, and you've probably seen obviously from the thumbnail, yeah, it was a success. It did come out really well. So I've already started doing this to a few of the smaller miniatures. Again, some of the sculpts really are really nice. So rather than 3D printing, yeah, I'd rather use the models that come with the HeroQuest, but I do want them on clear bases. So yeah, I've started doing this to quite a few of them, and yeah, so far so good. I've not lost any legs or chopped any limbs off. And then the last thing to do, just sort of fully tidy it up. Yeah, got some good old rough sandpaper here, just to smooth the feet up, just so he'll stand nicely on his own. But say obviously he's going to get glued down onto a lovely clear base. And yeah, really pleased with how it came out. Say all his toes are there. I managed to get in between all his nails, and yeah, love it. So definitely lots of these figures will be having their bases whipped off. Yeah, so guys, any of you guys do this, or is it just me? I know whenever I 3D print a miniature, yeah, they go straight on a clear base, but this is the first time I've ever sort of like taken away a base that was already there on a miniature. But say yeah, it come off really well. Definitely gonna be doing this again. So now that's done, now we can get on to the fun bit of painting. And yeah, as usual, good old Slapchop. So priming it in black, using my favourite one here by the Colour Forge. Again, links down below, guys, to everything I kind of use. Some of it's affiliate links, which means I get a few pennies if you buy something from them, but it doesn't cost you any more. So kind of a win-win, really. But yeah, this is my favourite, well, matte black, and I use the matte white, and well, a whole variety of colours they use. Just because when they do dry, they really live up to their name, and they're matte, which is great. So a bit of dry brushing now. The bit where I always say I hate the fact that I am wasting paint, because obviously you load the brush up and then you rub most of it off. So there's a very little bit on there, which is why it's obviously called dry brushing, because your brush is as dry as anything. And then for best results, yeah, I always find doing like circular motions gives you a much smoother sort of gradient on him. Whereas if you just sort of went left to right or up or down, you can sometimes see sort of brush marks, which I always find for terrain. Yeah, then typically I will sort of go left and right, up and down. But any miniatures, yeah, if possible, nice little swirly motions definitely gives you the much smoother result. And as you can see, yeah, it doesn't take too long at all to reveal all that lovely definition and detail in this miniature, which, I say, he does look absolutely awesome. So as with all the other HeroQuest sort of miniatures that I've been painting, yeah, I am trying to stick as true to as I can to the colours in the cards. Just because, well, why not? If you're going to have cards showing the each miniature and obviously all the stats, then yeah, I think it's worthwhile, well, in my case, making the miniatures look exactly like they do on the cards. So I've gone through all my Army Painter speed paints, trying to pick out what I think looks like the most similar of colours. Yeah, and then ready to rock and roll and slap some paint on this little dude, or in this case, big dude. So I'm starting with Battleship Grey for all his fur. This is where, say, with the speed paints, some of them are, well, for want of a better term, wetter than others. As you can see with this one, yeah, it goes on. You can just about see there is a bit of a difference, but yeah, very wet, very translucent. But yeah, I think the perfect colour for his fur to keep him in line with the card. Yeah, so this is one of the ones I don't normally use, this grey or bluey grey, because it is so wet and watery. But yeah, this is one thing you have to try with the Army Painter speed paints, and generally any kind of paints. You're always going to find some you sort of prefer using and some not so much. So with this, the blue there, or the grey, I actually went over him about 2-3 times, just because initially when it dried, yeah, you could barely see any difference. So now using a bit of Beowulf blue. Some of these I am going to mispronounce, generally because I do mispronounce things anyway, but I've currently got a bit of a cold, or I don't know. I always say cold, but it's probably not a cold. I just feel a little bit under the weather. So my throat is a little bit blocked, and my nose, and yeah, I'm waffling. Anyway, back to this. Yeah, using this for obviously the darker areas. So this blue, yeah, this blue goes on nice. I have to admit, with the blues, the one I generally use is called Magic Blue, and yeah, it goes on a treat. Although that's generally a nice sort of colour for your good old Space Marines. So it's nice to paint something like this, where I am trying out and using a lot of the Army Painter speed paints that, well, I haven't really used in the past. So it's great to be able to see exactly how they look, yeah, on your miniature. And talking of Magic Blue, yeah, that's exactly the colour I'm going to be using next. So yeah, so guys, obviously you have shown interest in me doing these kind of videos where I do go through every single paint I use, which I'm more than happy to do, as I do know a lot of you guys obviously look for sort of colour schemes. So when you see me paint something, yeah, you want to know obviously what colours I've used to achieve that. Especially with this, say, with all the HeroQuest, all the miniatures I am painting as much as I can to look exactly like they do on the cards. So yes, if you are interested in painting your HeroQuest minis to look like the cards, then yeah, keep track of all the HeroQuest videos I'm going to be popping out. As I say, I have just recently brought about 5 of the sort of expansion set boxes, or extra quest boxes. So yeah, lots more miniatures, several new heroes, which I'm certainly pleased about. As I've got a group of friends that, yeah, I'm looking at playing this game sort of on a fairly regular basis. Well, I say regular, maybe once a month. Get together and have a good old sort of day session and do as many quests as we can. So as much as I do love using the speed paints, yeah, sometimes they don't quite have the colour I want. So yeah, I use a lot of the Army Painter air paints. These are meant for your airbrushes or air guns, whatever you want to call them. But I love using these as well. The paints are already thinned down. So yeah, these kind of work well on the sort of the Slapchop look, because as much as they go on, they are a little bit sort of translucent, so you can still see some of that nice darker shade underneath, which is really cool. I will eventually be getting around to painting all the HeroQuest miniatures and mobs that I've got. But yeah, guys, if there's anyone you want to see me paint next, by all means let me know in the comments, as yeah, say, I'm going to try and get through all of them. Obviously it's going to take quite a while, especially now as I do want to try and move them or every single one from their base. I'm probably going to do some of the new heroes that I've got in the next couple of videos. But yeah, and I've seen some ogres which look really cool, so they are definitely going to be coming up very soon, guys. So you may be able to tell I am a little bit biased towards Army Painter paints, as yeah, I've got a lot of them. So I've got the War Paints Fanatic as well. As you can see here, I'm going to use the greedy gold and use this on all the little, well, kind of rivets and bits and pieces sticking out. So yeah, I was quite surprised just how many bits there are. Yeah, so I did go around several times just to make sure I did get all of them. But yes, I'm using this War Paints gold just because it is going to cover really well and yeah, look really good. If you do like my videos and you're not yet subscribed, it'd be great if you could hit that subscribe button, turn on the bell, as I do produce, well, at least 2 free videos a week, whole variety of painting, 3D printing, and yeah, just trying out new things that make this hobby more enjoyable and easier and better for everyone. So as you can see, yeah, I do love using the air paints. So you're going to use the white here again, just because it is thinned down, so I will be able to see a little bit of this sort of the darkness from underneath. Do any of you guys use the air range, well, as much as I do for painting? Say I have used some of these paints in an airbrush, but yeah, my skills with an airbrush are pretty limited, and I'm good at doing sort of big miniatures, but yeah, smaller miniatures I just can't get the can't get that nice sort of fine area painted. I kind of generally paint everything. So yeah, so that's kind of why you'll see me use these air range, definitely more like normal paints, just because I love the way they cover, and I say they're kind of obviously a nice in between from your normal sort of War Paint Fanatic range and a Speed Paints. So yeah, it's good to be able to use a whole variety of paints to achieve the look that you're after. And I know I keep mentioning it, but I haven't shown it yet, and that's the 3D printed HeroQuest board that I've done. Yeah, I am just sort of literally finishing it off now. I've done all the walls. Yeah, so I will be doing a video, or putting together that video, of showing me make, print and put together a whole 3D printed board. So yeah, look out for that one, guys, as I have used it. And yeah, it's absolutely awesome to use, and obviously all my miniatures fit on there really well. And again, this is the other reason for me doing the clear bases, because I spent all that time doing the 3D printed board and painting it. So yeah, I want to be able to see exactly how it looks underneath these miniatures. So I'm really pleased how this Frozen Horror is coming out, and must admit, sometimes it is easier to follow, well, someone else's sort of paint scheme and colour, as obviously I do enjoy and love painting, but yeah, sometimes I do wonder what colours and paints to use on something. So yeah, following these cards and making them look identical to that, if anything, is easier for me, as it's taken the guesswork out of what colours to use. It's just a case of, well, finding those colours amongst all the paints that I have to choose from. And then the last thing I need to paint on this is kind of like these, well, like electricity sort of bits or sparks all along his, well, the horns and his weapon. And anywhere where this sort of this lighter blue is. So I've got like a lighter blue, there's a darker bit on top, just to sort of show off more these little white lines. So this is where I'm trying to get as thin as white line as I can. I'm probably using a too small a brush, as you can generally get a nice thinner line with a larger brush. But sometimes I kind of forget that when I'm painting. And yeah, I've been using the small brush for a bit, so it's like I've got to keep using the small brush. But yeah, the last sort of thing to do, put these little lightning bolt things here and there. And yeah, this chap then is pretty much done. And I say, really pleased how he's come out. Definitely looks like he does on the card. And yeah, I can't wait for, well, my adventurers to come across this dude, as he is nice, big, stocky, and obviously a meaty, mighty weapon there to defeat his foes. That's him all done, and yeah, say very pleased with him, and yeah, I think I've done a pretty good job of sort of matching the colours up, as he does look exactly like he does on the card. So now the bits to obviously stick him on a clear plastic base. So I get all mine from Fluid 3D Workshop. Again, link down below, guys. I'm not affiliated with them, I just get my bases from them because they do a whole variety of shapes, sizes and thicknesses, which is really, really good. So he was glued a little bit on there, so yeah, it didn't take much to sort of pull him off. And then it's a case of, well, gluing him on the new base. And then he's all ready to take, well, some nice sort of videos of him being nicely completed. And for that, yeah, so guys, I do often get sent little items to sort of try out. Generally 3D printers, which obviously are very awesome to try out. But yeah, I've also recently been sent this little webcam, which I'm going to use to say get some footage of him. So what I need to do is stick him on this little turntable, just so again I can get some nice video of him moving around, get to see him in all his positions. So this is BenQ. Again, links down below, guys, to everything I kind of use in this. Again, this video isn't sponsored in any way by any of these products. It is just a case of this is what I'm using, and yeah, I'm just showing you exactly what I use. So the great thing with this little webcam, as you just saw, that first thing I pulled out is a remote control, but rather nice remote control. As yeah, you can zoom in, zoom out, take videos, take pictures, set automatic focus, and all the rest of it, which is really, really good. So again, check out the link down below so you can see more details of this webcam. Like most things these days, everything is sort of plug and play. So with my desk, say I am very short on space, I have a lot of these arms that I connect things to, just because it means I can keep them out of the way while I'm sort of painting. But then they are to hand when I need them to, well, say in this case, do some filming. So this one's got a nice little magnetic cover, so yeah, when you're not using it, no one can spy on you. So you just pop that on. And so yeah, this is on this little swingy arm. I can twist it round, move it up and down, and get it to exactly the position I need. So this BenQ webcam also comes with some nice, easy software to use. Yeah, just so you can get the exact shot you want. It's also got a little light on it, which is great, especially for these miniatures. As yeah, having something nice and close to light it up is awesome. And then you say this thing is a case of spinning the outer rim to zoom in and out. So you've got a picture button here to take the picture or start the video. There is obviously sound on these webcams as well. So we'll be doing some live streams soon. They sent me 2 of these to use, which is great because then I can have one on me and one on the miniature. And to all of the miniature, this is how he looks. So I am really pleased that I was able to get him off of his sort of base and onto this clear one. As I say, so then I can see the terrain underneath. And I have tried this with one of the heroes, so a much smaller miniature. And yeah, again, taking it nice and slow, I was able to get the miniature off the base without taking any of his feet off. So you might see him in the next video. And there we go, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. I love it that he is exactly how he looks, well, in the picture. I hope you agree. You may have different sort of ideas of styles on how you paint your miniatures. But say for the HeroQuest ones, yeah, I'm enjoying painting them as they look on the tin. And I say, yeah, the clear base, yeah, that's going to look awesome on the 3D printed board. As I have painted the floors on the 3D printed board, well, very similar again to how they look on the board that comes with HeroQuest. Although this dude is very large, so I can't really see him walking down any of the corridors. I think this dude is going to be stuck inside a room, or even a cave, cavern, whatever it might be. So yeah, there we go, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. There's another video on the screen. Give that a click, see more what I do. And yeah, you guys take care. See you in the next one. Bye for now.